Luke 14. One Sabbath, Jesus went to dine at the house of a leader of the Pharisees, and they were watching him closely. In front of him was a man suffering from dropsy. Jesus asked the lawyers and Pharisees, "Is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath, or not?" But they remained silent. So he took the man, healed him, and sent him away. Then he said to them, "If one of you has a donkey or an ox that falls into a well on the Sabbath, won't you immediately pull it out?" And they could not respond to these things. Observing how the guests chose places of honor at the table, he told them this parable. When you are invited to a wedding feast, do not sit in the place of honor, lest someone more distinguished than you has been invited, and the host who invited both of you comes and says, "Give this person your seat." Then, humiliated, you will have to take the lowest place. But when you are invited, go and sit in the lowest place, so that when your host comes, he will say to you, "Friend, move up higher." Then you will be honored in the presence of all the other guests. For everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, and the one who humbles himself will be exalted. Then he said to the host, "When you give a luncheon or dinner, do not invite your friends, your brothers, your relatives, or your rich neighbors, lest they also invite you in return, and you are repaid. But when you give a feast, invite the poor, the crippled, the lame, and the blind, and you will be blessed. They cannot repay you, but you will be repaid at the resurrection of the righteous." Hearing this, one of the guests at the table said to him, "Blessed is the one who will eat at the feast in the kingdom of God." Jesus replied, "A certain man prepared a great banquet and invited many guests. At the time of the banquet, he sent his servant to tell those who had been invited, 'Come, for everything is now ready.' But they all alike began to make excuses. The first said, 'I have bought a field, and I must go see it. Please excuse me.' Another said, 'I have bought 5 yoke of oxen, and I am on my way to try them out. Please excuse me.' Still another said, 'I just got married, so I cannot come.' The servant returned and reported this to his master. Then the owner of the house became angry and said to his servant, 'Go out quickly into the streets and alleys of the city, and bring in the poor, the crippled, the blind, and the lame.' The servant said, 'Master, what you ordered has been done, but there is still room.' Then the master told his servant, 'Go out to the roads and country lanes, and compel them to come in, so that my house will be full. I tell you, none of those men who were invited will taste my banquet.' Large crowds were traveling with Jesus, and turning to them, he said, 'If anyone comes to me and does not hate his father and mother, wife and children, brothers and sisters, yes, even his own life, he cannot be my disciple. Whoever does not carry his own cross and follow me cannot be my disciple. Suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough to complete it? Otherwise, if you lay the foundation and are not able to finish it, everyone who sees it will ridicule you, saying, "This man began to build and was not able to finish." Or what king, going out to war against another king, will not first sit down and consider whether he is able with 10,000 men to oppose the one coming against him with 20,000? If he is not able, he will send a delegation while the other is still far off and ask for terms of peace. In the same way, those of you who do not give up everything you have cannot be my disciples. Salt is good, but if it loses its flavor, how can it be made salty again? It is neither fit for the soil nor for the manure pile. It is thrown out. He who has ears to hear, let him hear.